What's going on, ladies and gents? Digibus here, bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. And today we're going to be talking about the newly added operator for this port. We're going to talk about Hibana, the newest attacker for Rainbow Six Siege, coming with Operation Red Crow. We'll be discussing what she's like, how she plays, what's her utility, is she aggressive, is she supportive, stuff like that, tips on how you can succeed with her, and stuff along those lines. So without further ado, let's get into the, bread and butter of her. Let's get into her guns. Now, most operators that are max speed and 1 armor, like Hibana is, come usually with very heavy hitting weaponry. Except for the case of Blackbeard, but he's a whole different case. If you look at Capitao in the most recent Skull Rain DLC, that was before Red Crow, he comes with the Para 308, I believe it's called. Shit, it's been a while since I've looked at that thing. But it is a hard-hitting 7.62-esque style assault rifle, battle rifle kind of thing. I don't know what the actual term for them is called. They still classify as assault rifles, probably, if anything else. But they fire a larger round, so they're going to hit a lot harder. She has the Type 89, which is that weapon I've been trying to describe there. And it honestly has a very quick fire rate, but it also has a lot of recoil. Not necessarily, obviously, when you're running the vertical grip, it changes a lot, but for operators that I like to be aggressive with, I tend to enjoy the angled grip a little bit more. Something in Rainbow Six Siege that a lot of new players sometimes don't do is play their proper speed tiers properly. If you play IQ a lot and you sit back, and she's supposed to be a fast operator, and you take your time, you're not gonna be utilizing her very well because she's supposed to be fast and hit hard, not take her time all that much, stuff along those lines. So especially in this case with Hibana, you want to be as quick as possible and get your gun up, and if you need those quick situations where you need to aim down your sight quickly, I would suggest maybe running the angled grip, because if you're really to plan to play aggressive and how she's supposed to be played, I would suggest going with the angled grip with this gun. It also comes with a flash hider, muzzle brake, suppressor, flash hider, muzzle brake, suppressor, compensator, those ones. That one. And then it comes with the standard 4 choices of sight: ACOG, red dot, holographic, and reflex. I think I run the red dot on it currently, just because I like the way that sight is at the current moment. Honestly, sight preference is sight preference, except with the ACOG, because the ACOG's more, depends on how you're really running the gun, because it has more zoom, obviously. But yeah, other than that, excuse the cutout there, my throat's a bit dry. But anyways, her second gun is the Supernova shotgun pump action, which is pretty good on its own. It's a pump action shotgun, not too much to say there. If you're an aggressive player and you like shotguns, sure, you'll enjoy it. Why not? Is she the only offensive max speed operator that has a shotgun? I want to say yes, barring the recruit. If my memory serves me right, yeah, she is actually, because IQ doesn't get a shotgun, neither does Capitao, or neither does Ash. I think so she's the fastest offensive operator with a pump action shotgun. Unless, obviously, you count a recruit with a shotgun, then that's a different story. But, she's the actual operator with an ability that has a pump-action shotgun on offense, which is kind of nice, I guess. If you're really aggressive and you like her playstyle, she actually can benefit a lot from that shotgun, which we'll talk about her ability right after we get to the secondaries. Her secondary SMG is pretty much, you're going to get the same experience with the SMG-11, so if you're very fond of the SMG-11, you'll get used to this. Now, actually, the SMG-11's been drastically changed since Red Crow. There's no more ACOG on it. So with this new SMG, it's useful. It's really useful, and I'd honestly suggest running it on Hibana a lot, just based off the fact that her guns don't carry that much ammo because they shoot very quickly, or shotguns typically aren't maybe the best thing at range in that case. So if you try and learn out those headshots with an SMG with either the red dot or reflex sight, you're going to have a better time. So with this SMG, she'd be in a more aligned way of killing people, especially at close range, and she needs a gun to swap to. She has that option. So it's a good kind of backup to go with. But the pistol itself actually hits like a truck. It does like 50 damage a shot at ideal ranges, which is pretty nice. And put a muzzle brake on that thing, like most semi-automatic pistols, it's just a laser beam. Like, it's a fucking laser beam. It's great. Not to mention that one of the camos on it is called Tentacle, not the SMG, the pistol. Because for some reason, the Japanese operators needed a camo called Tentacles. Way to go, Siege. 10 out of 10. Totally not. Fucking goddamn it, Rainbow Six. If you guys don't get that, it's a hentai joke. Okay, moving on. But now let's talk about her gadget. Now, I really don't know how to pronounce this thing's name, so for the most part, we're gonna just call it a thermite launcher, just because I really can't pronounce this thing's name. I'm terrible with it. I'm gonna butcher it, and then the comment section is gonna be, Moose, it's pronounced like this, and that's honestly what the comment section is gonna be anyways, and this comment just wound up getting deleted, because everyone needs a pronunciation guide after the video's been made. Totally necessary, guys. Like, seriously, moving on. So the thermite launcher she has is very special and very supportive in its own way. Hibana pairs great with thermite with this. Not great with thermite. Well, she does also pair great with thermite, but great with Blackbeard for this reason. Against reinforced walls, she can punch holes. And she can also, quote-unquote, customize these holes, if you will. Depending on how she stacks these, guess we'll say, grenades, these darts, whatever you want to classify them as, and she blows a hole through the wall, she can make a head peek hole for Blackbeard so he can maybe see through. So if you're working very closely with the Blackbeard, your Hibana, your friend's Blackbeard, you guys can get this nice death alley going on and lock some people in the room through a reinforced wall, because they can't actually shoot through the lower gap. And since they can't shoot through the lower gap, because it's reinforced and it's bulletproof, and all they see is Blackbeard's beautiful face, they're going to have a bad time. So it's a very powerful utility. Obviously, you place 2 charges, it becomes a vaulting hole. Now, there is a little bit of an issue with that. I noticed that if you don't get the darts, like, hugging each other, there will sometimes be this very thin wall of reinforcement that you can't shoot down because reinforcement's indestructible by bullet. So you can't actually vault through it. So a lot of the time, you want to be careful with that. You want to get them as close as possible if you want your best chances of vaulting through, or else you're really going to be kicking yourself in the ass in the long run. Or if you just stack 3 in one wall, you can rip it down, pretty much replicating a thermite charge. Now, Hibana really excels well in the Hereford base. If you guys are familiar with the garage breach and when the hostiles are having a hostage inside of the room that's beyond the garage, where there's that wall that has a little ladder that goes down the basement, there's a little section there that normally people can't breach unless you're Ash and there's no reinforcement. You can't put a thermite charge there, and a lot of times defenders reinforce that. Well, now that you can shoot these darts across, it's actually beneficial to maybe put 2 low, like 1 low, and then 1 a little bit higher, so people can't go crouch underneath it and stay down for height, stay down for coverage, and it'll be a lot easier in the long run for people to, it'll be a lot easier for you to kill the people that can't hide from you. It's one great strategy I utilized, or I didn't really utilize it, but I actually it was one of those things where I'm like, shit, I wish I did that after, and now realizing my mistake, I'm glad I built upon it. So you just gotta be smart with your charges. Remember, putting them at head height will expose their heads, but if the enemy goes prone, the reinforced wall is still bulletproof. So don't waste your charges that much as Hibana. You want to put them as low as possible, if it's in one of those situations that you think it's necessary, so you can take out the defenders that are hiding behind a reinforced wall, so they have nowhere to hide. Sure, it might not be a headshot or whatnot, but at least you can get that damage to harass them enough to where they can be whittled down to those percentages. Now, Hibana also comes packed with flashbangs, or stuns, I never actually really checked, or claymores. Claymores are really great because she's actually the first operator with max speed to have claymores, so she can deploy a claymore as fast as she can and aggressively hit the area, which is really nice. It also helps her lock down the area, say if she's assaulting from the roof. She breaks down a hatch in the upper area, or she puts some of her charges in and around the ceiling. By the way, if you guys are planning on doing that where you blow up the floor to look down with Hibana, 1 row of charges makes a very small hole. I think you've seen that throughout the gameplay a little bit here. It makes a very small hole, so make sure you guys are very careful. Maybe put 2 in a certain area to make a bigger hole. But yeah, for the most part, just be careful with that because the holes are very tiny. If you only put like 1 line of her kind of thermite launcher in the area. But honestly, that's about it for her. There's nothing really else to say. She's a great operator. She's not, pay to win Simulator 2015 like what we had with Blackbeard on his release. But at the end of the day, she's a very solid supportive operator that can keep her aggression and hold her own. I like her. I like her a lot, and I think she's quickly earned her respects in Rainbow Six Siege. And she's the first DLC operator that I really don't see getting nerfed. I mean, maybe it might get a little out of hand when she gets that rush down with a claymore and it's a very aggressive person, but that is her playstyle and that's what they designed her to be, so the defenders just need to be ready for her. Anyways, guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new about Hibana. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Echo video. We'll be covering that. We'll be covering that unit himself, and then we'll probably bring up some operator ideas with Thunderspear back for Sunday for a little special. So without further ado, guys, thank you guys once again for watching this video, and I'll see you sexy beasts in the next episode. Peace.